If you're going through some kind of a challenge or struggle and you just can't seem to see the other side, I want to share something with you that happened to me several years ago. So I was in an accident and I actually separated this shoulder. It wasn't such a severe separation that I needed any kind of surgery, but it was enough that I was down for, I think, around 6 to 8 weeks, something like that. So it was a chunk of time. And I will never forget the first night. I'm sleeping out in a chair because I couldn't get comfortable laying down. So I was propped up and I'm sitting in this chair. All of my family had gone to bed and I just lost it and I started crying. And I remember thinking to myself, my life is never going to be the same. I'm never going to be able to do things because I couldn't use this arm at all. Like, this arm was completely out of order for that period of time. And I kind of just had this pity party where I just felt like that was it. My life was over. Like, I was never going to be the same and things were never going to be as good as they were and my arm was never going to work the same. And it was a really, really strange moment where I felt my mortality. I felt just how devastating this accident was in that moment. And, this was a very minor accident compared to some people. It was a very minor health issue compared to some people. And so, I feel for those who are in much more serious situations. But here's what I learned from that particular incident. I learned that, number one, with time, things change. Everything changes. And even if you don't get everything back 100%, even if you have a really bad situation, where you just lose everything, or where, your health is just kind of shot and you aren't going to be the same, you have to understand that things do change. And if you get your mind right, and if you start to think outside the box and you start to look for solutions and look for opportunities, even with the challenges that you're facing, that doors do open and things do happen. Now, in my case, it took time and my body did heal and I was able to get back to normal mostly. I'm not 100% like I used to be. In fact, both of my shoulders have issues today and I can't do as much. I can't overdo it like I used to be able to do when I was younger. So I do have to be a little bit more careful when I'm, doing physical activities and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I got back a lot of my capabilities and it was just time. It was, rehabilitation and working through some of those things to kind of build those muscles back up. But regardless of the situation that we're in, we literally have two choices. We can either go to the dark place and just decide that the world is ended for us and life is done and there's no point, or we can decide, you know what, I'm going to find a solution to this and I'm going to work through this and I'm going to look for other opportunities. And maybe it means making some adjustments. Maybe it means making changes. I heard a story several years ago about a guy who lost his eyesight and had these same kind of feelings where he was just like, life's over and done. And somebody had given him a copy of the book Think and Grow Rich on cassette tapes, so this was a long time ago. And he listened to that book and he realized, I can do whatever I put my mind to, like whatever I decide I want to do in my life. And he turned his life around and still became successful and was able to do things. I think he was a football player, actually. So he was, in a career where he was very, physically active, and being blind, he just couldn't do any of that anymore and had to completely shift gears. But he found a way, even with that big of a disability, he found a way to to do something with his life and to create and to help people and all this. So specifically speaking to those of you who are in a very dark place right now where you just feel frustrated, you feel like nothing ever works, you feel like everything you do is just a waste of your time, don't give up, don't quit. You just have to find a way to change your mindset. And one of the things that I've been doing for a long time is I recite this phrase that I learned from another YouTuber a long time ago. Things work out even better than I expect. I see miracles constantly around me. And whenever I'm feeling down or frustrated or discouraged and I don't see a way through something, I start reciting that, and I will say that 20 times in my head or out loud. If I'm alone, I'll say it out loud, but I'll just say that over and over. I'll just repeat it over and over and over, and I feel better, and it uplifts me, and it helps me to just kind of change my perspective in that moment. And all of a sudden, the frustration and the hardship, it's not like it's all gone, but I feel like there's a level of confidence to get through it and to find a way to solve whatever the problem is. So wherever you're at in life, you're going to face frustrations, you're going to face challenges, you're going to face obstacles, and you just have to find something that you can turn to that will lift you up, that will help you change that mindset, or kind of pull you out of whatever it is that you are facing and experiencing in that moment. You have to have something, because we're all going to end up there. We all do. I don't care who you are. I listen to podcasts and things where famous actors who are super successful and wealthy come on, and they have imposter syndrome, and they talk about how they were in this situation with a film or whatever, and they just felt like, I'm not good enough, somebody else should be doing this or whatever. Like, everybody goes through this. I don't care how successful you are, and I don't care how good at overcoming this stuff you are. People still have to have something to pull themselves out, because we are all capable of falling into this trap where you just don't feel worthy, or you don't feel like you can do it, or you don't have the resources or the skills or whatever. And I'm here to tell you, those are just flat out lies. We literally have the power to accomplish whatever it is that we set our minds to. So don't let those lies win. Don't let those dark thoughts win. Find a way out, and find things that can pull you out of that when you get into that situation. So that's my message today. I was just thinking about this experience years ago. I think I was watching a TV show that kind of reminded me of it, but it was something that I thought I would share, and maybe this helps somebody else out there to realize that even if you're in a really crappy situation right now where things just look very gloom and doom and there's no way out, I promise you that if you have a little bit of faith in yourself and in God, that He can pull you out of this stuff. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and there is a way out. So I wish you all the best. I hope you have a wonderful day today. Take care. Bye.